diplomatic buildings. Kevin?
Christina, thank you. We want to bring in Seth Jones from the Center for Strategic and International Studies and Derrick Anderson, a former Green Beret who is trained with the Israeli Defense Forces. I want to begin with you, Seth. In this particular instance, I think there was something very interesting said and offered in the conversation, and that's this. Anytime you're talking about people deciding that they want to side with a group that has avowed itself and availed itself to murder and mayhem, it makes you wonder how in the world that is. It's come to that in this country, but it's not just here in the U.S., Seth. Does this surprise you at all?
No, it doesn't surprise me. Look, I mean, there's no question the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a complicated one. But for anyone that supports the killing of innocent civilians, the way we've seen with the recent Hamas attacks, and the way we've seen over the last several decades in Israel, that is terrorism. That is a targeting of civilians. And the justification for that kind of activity is and should be inexcusable.
It should be roundly criticized, Derrick, and yet we've heard on college campuses, we've heard adults say as much. This is what I think has surprised a great many in the Jewish American community, that there's been this sort of undercurrent. Has it surprised you?
You know, it doesn't surprise me, and it does surprise me. You know, if you look at what's going on in these college campuses, I think that is a whole separate and apart problem of seeing what is going on in our college campuses. But I think if you listen to what these people are saying, especially the people who are saying that they support Hamas, when you ask them, your reporters have been on the ground and asked them, what do you feel about the beheading of babies? What are you thinking about the rape of women? They completely push it away. They act like they don't even answer the question, and they sideswipe it. Meanwhile, you have, you know, Jews and Israelis here in America specifically that are going straight up to these people and saying, why do you want this to happen? At the end of the day, again, it is a complicated situation, but, you know, Israel is taking the fight to them right now. So regardless if they stomp their feet in the middle of New York City or whatever city they choose to, at the end of the day, Hamas did what they did, and they're going to feel the pain for it.
I'm listening to our live coverage here, and as we take a look at some of the cameras there, you can also hear explosions in the distance. You can see smoke rising there to the right side of the screen. These are live pictures from Gaza City. As this continues to unfold, we'll keep an eye on it. Daybreak not terribly long ago, and so we're not surprised, based on some of the analysis we've received from Derrick and from Seth and others, that this is happening at daybreak. I want to welcome Seth back into the conversation. I found this really interesting, Seth. I wanted to get your take on it. This is from a headline. It said this on Tuesday: thousands of so-called special interest aliens from Middle East countries stopped at the southern border since 2021. And we're talking about thousands of nationals, 6,000 plus nationals from Afghanistan, more than 3,100 from Egypt, more than 650 from Iran, more than 500 from Syria. How concerned should we be, Seth, that this is what's happening right on our doorstep?
Well, look, we have a major problem on our southern border. We've had a range of individuals that have come in illegally into the United States, and then we've also seen some individuals with a criminal or even in some case a terrorist background or a foreign intelligence background come across our southern border. So, you know, we need to be very careful about who is coming in, and we need to protect that border. I mean, I don't see at this point that's where we're likely to get an attack from in the United States. If we get it, it's probably somebody that's already in the United States. We have a history of attacks against places like synagogues, and including in Pittsburgh. So I suspect what we're likely to see is someone already here that is, if they take action along those lines.
Yeah, this is one of the major concerns that we've had. We're out of time for this segment, but I want to say, Derrick, I saw you nodding in affirmation, and this is a circumstance where if this were to happen, it could be someone who's already here. We've got to be more vigilant along the southern border. Seth Jones, Derrick Anderson, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time here tonight. We're coming back as we continue our coverage here on the ground in Israel with a closer